Welcome to the next lightning talk titled Driving Efficiency. My name is Thomas. I work for Vector Informatik, and this is another customer presentation, so you will learn nothing new about LibreOffice or Collabora itself, but maybe it's interesting how we integrate LibreOffice. So that's the plan. I will talk briefly about Vector Informatik, one of our products, Prevision, two example use cases where we use LibreOffice, how we collaborate with Collabora, and a summary at the end. So, Vector Informatik. Vector with a C, Informatik with a K to be extra confusing. We were founded in 1988, and our three founders had one simple rule: they never wanted to have more than 30 employees. And luckily for me and 4,500 people worldwide, something went wrong. And you can see the actual numbers on the slide. Fortunately, the number of customers scaled accordingly. And our mission as Vector as a whole is to provide an open development platform of tools, software components, and services for embedded systems, especially in the automotive industry, but not exclusively. Prevision is one of the products. And that's an environment for designing, managing, and documenting EE systems. EE stands for electrics, and it's a convergence of electronics, software, and wiring. As a typical EE system in our case is a car, a bus, a truck. Could also be an airplane, agricultural vehicle, medical devices, vacuum cleaners. A lot of things have electronics and software nowadays. And this is some marketing material you will find. On your right side, there's a layer overview. The whole process starts usually at the top with product managers and requirement engineers. They collect the requirements, use cases, customer features, then layer below, software architects convert them into rectangles and arrows, so logical function architecture. This is again broken down into software and hardware components. Then there are a lot more diagrams and layers, and at the bottom you see there's the actual cables and pins, and someone has to decide if to put some components in the right door or somewhere else in the car, for example. And just like Vector, we are not newcomers. This whole software started in 2003 as a research project, and is a product of Vector since 2009. So this is a screenshot of our desktop client, which is the way most users interact with the environment. Instead of where's Waldo, we can play where's LibreOffice. There it is. So as a prerequisite, Prevision follows a model-based approach. So we save our customer and administrative data in a model which contains artifacts. It could be everything from a requirement, a pin, a cable, a sensor, actuator. And these artifacts have properties, and then there are compositions of artifacts, and then there are relations between those artifacts, and all these things are defined in the meta model. And this meta model is defined in the meta model, so it's models all the way down. And all these properties can have a type, and one of these types is rich text. And whenever a user tries to edit some rich text property, he will do this via LibreOffice embedded into the product, as you can see here. That's not the only place. In this case, the client is configured in a way a requirement engineer could probably use it. So on the left, you have the model view where you can select some artifacts, and on down right, there's the property editor, where one property, rich text property is currently edited. We have also a powerful table framework, and if you, as a user, edit some value there, which is a rich text, you also get LibreOffice. And then there are dedicated editors if you need the document in brighter view. So that's all LibreOffice Writer. We do not only integrate it as a text editor, it's tightly integrated into the system. For example, you can see the gray user field in here. This is what we call placeholders, so you can drag and drop any artifact from the model into the editor that will create a user field with some magic properties and also artifacts in the model, some administrative artifacts. And then you have the connection between texts and different artifacts, and they are resolved in different ways depending on the use case. You can also jump to different artifacts from a text. For the same reason, we also have, for example, synchronized the two undo stacks of LibreOffice and our application. So if you undo the placement of a placeholder in the text, the administrative artifacts are also removed in our model. And there are fewer integrations. For example, some customers have the requirement to block which user can format text bold. And all this is possible by our authorization model and is then integrated into LibreOffice. So a basic overview about the architecture. The screenshot have probably portrayed it. It's an Eclipse-rich client platform client. So we provide a window handle to LibreOffice, and then they render into our application. The LibreOffice processes are directly started by our application, at least one, sometimes multiples, depending on the use case, if you have to have parallel tasks. Our business logic is written in Java and has uses the UNO API extensively to control the editors that are shown. Some performance-critical parts are written in C++ as an LibreOffice extension. Sometimes in this code we also have to show UI elements to the customer, and we don't want them to get the impression that they're outside of our application, so they have callbacks into our code to then show UI by the standard widget toolkit. We also extensively use custom dispatches to override, for example, copy and paste and drag and drop actions, and also defined our own custom dispatches. And yeah, that's no secrets here, but that's all we use, what's available via the official APIs. This was an obvious example where everyone can see that LibreOffice is used. We also have other under-the-hood headless modes. One example is the RecRF export. So RecRF stands for Requirements Interchange Format. That's exactly what the name says. The automotive industry uses this to exchange requirements between original equipment manufacturers and suppliers. So of course we support it too. And there, on the left side, you see the requirements, or some example of requirements as they are stored in our system. They are also in the backend just LibreOffice writer documents. And instead of converting them ourselves into the XHTML format of RecRF, Miklos has created a filter option that you can see here, which does that for us. So we just have parallel tasks supplying those rich text or those documents to LibreOffice instances. They convert it in the format we need, and then we merge it at the end again to create one RecRF file. That is then the actual export which our customers can use. So we do not integrate Collabora Online or Collabora Office. Expected booth at this point, okay. But this is just plain LibreOffice. So the way we work is if we want to switch to a new version, Collabora is creating a Git branch for us, depending on the version. So you can go to Gerrit and just search for the prefix vector, and you will find all our branches. No secrets there. All our changes are done in main and then cherry-picked in our dev and release branches. So All the changes we order are also available in master, which of course also has the advantage for us that our changes are tested and maintained. So, LibreOffice is an integral part of Prevision. You have seen rich text editing, exporting, importing, RecRF, and there are more use cases under the hood, like printing diagrams. So we are also not only using Writer, but also LibreOffice Calc, and in this case LibreOffice Draw, and we also use LibreOffice Calc. Also in test frameworks, there's also a report generator we use where you can, with these placeholders, integrate different data into documents which then get exported as PDF or ODT, depending on what the user needs. And especially Miklos has developed many of these changes and bug fixes in the last years. Currently, it's Mike Kagansky who's mainly supporting us. I wasn't able to get the exact number, but there have to be several hundred fixes and features since over 11 years. So obviously we're happy, otherwise we wouldn't continue with this arrangement. And that's it.